call me the dick whisperer because of the way I make them rise. 10 hut like soldiers, ready to fight. Mystique gon' take good care of you, make you feel like a big kid now. So come grovel at my feet and give your mistress a bow.
Yo, I'm no chiropractor, but I'm about to crack your back. Everything you never knew you need is going down tonight. I hope you got your say we're ready now. Let's take a flight. Have your elevator higher than the sky MD, floating on cloud 9 in ecstasy. You'll be falling in love, making love to me. Now, girl, what's my name?
Hey, ma'am. Mystique.
Huh?
Live, bro.
Oh my God! What a great way to start it.
I ain't do nothing weird, did
You
I?
know what? You know what? I'm making an executive decision. Let's just run it back.
They call me the dick whisperer because of the way I make them rise. 10 hut like soldiers, ready to fight. Mystique gon' take good care of you, make you feel like a big kid now. So come grovel at my feet and give your mistress a bow.
Yo, I'm no chiropractor, but I'm about to crack your back. Everything you never knew you need is going down tonight. I hope you got your say we're ready now. Let's take a flight. Have your elevator higher than the sky MD, floating on cloud 9 in ecstasy. You'll be falling in love, making love to me. Now, girl, what's my name?
What's up, y'all? This is Mystique.
This is Mr. Everlasting.
And this is the safe word.
Safe word.
My bad. I was trying. As y'all, we gonna give everybody a minute to trickle in. Yo, my bad. I was trying to get the link shared and everything.
Nah, I was doing the same thing.
And I was like,
That was funny.
Yo, that was
sorry,
beautiful.
it was funny.
That was beautiful, though.
that's my thinking face.
We've got guests in the building. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, yes, my name is Mystique. My pronouns are he, him. Did you want me to go into more in detail with that? Or just simple.
Yeah, no, do you think?
Okay.
They know who we are. We need to know about you.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So I am the Mystique. My pronouns are he, him. I am a primal sadist. I dabble into a lot of things when it comes to education and polyamory, BDSM. Honestly, negotiations and aftercare is one of my biggest things. And I dabble into a concept that I kind of absorbed from someone, and I hope we get a chance to talk about it. It's called Needs, Wants, and Requirements. And that's just a friendly round for those who probably might tune in and want to know what the question is. But that's besides the point. That's just a little bit about me. We're probably going to go more into depth into that shortly afterwards.
Okay, for sure, man. I just want to say welcome to the show. We like for people to kind of, we could always introduce you, but I think it's better for people to introduce themselves.
Absolutely.
Because can't nobody give you the introduction that you can give yourself.
Absolutely.
You know? So we don't make strangers on this show very often. You know,
Okay.
We normally end up being friends very, very quickly. Because if you're on this show with a specific purpose. That means that we all like-minded individuals. So, you know, I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say today. And welcome, Mystique. How you been?
Absolutely.
I've been doing good, man. I'll tell you. Oh shit! Oh man, let me. See, y'all, I can't beat this. The virtualness is too many. I'm trying to share everything and everything. I've been doing good. Thank you for joining us, Miles. It's my home slice right here. Thank you so much. And I took one of his classes, and I was like, oh my god, we gotta talk about this because it's fucking phenomenal. I'm doing good. I won't complain.
Honestly, glad to be here as well. So I definitely say I appreciate the honor and behind you guys even inviting me here. So thank you.
No, of course. I know our producer is hiding, but sir, you want to show your face and at least speak to the people?
Yes. I was like, don't you be hiding?
bad.
You
Look,
are a part of
I'm-
this show. We would not have the safe word if it wasn't for you.
Facts.
I'm here. I'm doing great. I closed my camera because I was cleaning up because y'all ain't finna talk about my motherfucking room. My office
I'm
is
the
hectic.
same way, dog. The same way.
It's
I
been
get
real.
it.
So
You have to hit angles. Like I'm in a corner for a reason, so I get it.
I
That
can't.
was me. I was like turning. I was like, oh shit, I can't turn too far that way. I can't turn too far this way. I was like, because I had to move my laptop up, and I was like, damn, y'all can see my fish tank, and I was like, it's so.
Man, it is the middle of the week. I'm sorry. I love everybody, but if y'all house is spotless in the middle of the week, what do you do for a living? Because I ain't got time.
You know, if I'm not working as heavily as I am, I'll make sure. No, matter of fact, my house is spotless on the weekend. You're right. Let me shut up.
No, see, I get that. I get that. You have a little bit more time. Like now, tomorrow I'm off, so I got time to clean tomorrow.
Yeah.
But during the rest of the week, bro, ain't nobody trying to clean the house after working 12 hours a day. That ain't happening.
See, y'all.
I will get that way if I have a guest that's getting ready to come over. I will panic clean.
That makes sense.
Oh,
I get that.
that cleaning when you got somebody coming over, like you gotta go like whoop doo doo doo, like vacuum and shit.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I know who that's in the comments. Love
Okay,
to see
see,
people I know.
Rashawn got a reason to have a clean house in the middle of the week. She ain't got no kids.
Hey,
You
look,
say you
man.
off in the middle of the week, so you got time. Now, in all fairness, I don't have any children, but I got a dog that act like a child.
My fiance has 3. So, yeah, I get that. I get that. Me, honestly, I don't have no kids either, but they are slowly standing at salute, waiting to be ready to make presents when I need them to. It's, especially if I have a babysitter.
Touche.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, tell me, while people are still trickling in, so I identify as a primal hedonist. It'll be the first time I've actually met a primal sadist.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about that, part of your sexuality and how you got into that.
Man, so funny thing is I could tell like a small story about how I even kind of found out that I was. So originally getting into the lifestyle, I found out that I was very much a daddy dom. I had a partner I was dating, kind of showcasing that. And this is obviously my first experience with polyamory too. They had like 5 to 6 partners. And I'm like, if I'm your daddy, like, when do I get time? Because like every time I was talking to her, she was always doing something else. So as I kind of trickled more into learning about impact and just the fun that I had behind it, I started getting creative and saying, what if I use this and use that? And I wonder what this would do. And then one day she just popped out of nowhere and said, oh my God, you're such a fucking sadist. And I was like, oh, I'm not. I'm a daddy dom. What are you talking about? So she kind of just, I guess, planted the seed. And I started realizing the more I desired to try stuff. I remember I went down Walmart and I saw like items like a meat tenderizer. And I was like, ooh, what if I could? And that's just where it started to trickle in. But I originally just went towards more sadist, and then I became more primal. I guess the older I got and more of the desires that I have, you obviously understand, like those desires that you smell, the sounds that trickle in that get you going. And when I seen, a lot of people are very familiar when I am the Moscow. That is my scene name, but I am not truly the Moscow when I scene until I get into this zen where I start laughing hysterically. Some people think I'm the Joker sometimes when it happens, but Lord. I get like another power jolt. Like my punches are harder. I'm more sadistic. I have a demon mask that I even put on for a while, and I just get into that headspace and all my primal instincts. I don't use toys no more. It's just me and you, all energy. Okay. And that's when I kind of realized, oh yeah, very. I think you have seen it, haven't you?
I've seen it.
Okay.
The demon mask, I saw it. That shit.
But pretty much at the end of the day, that's kind of where I identified more, because I enjoy the energy and the connection that two people can have in a scene. You know, kink is all about being vulnerable with somebody and just allowing yourself to showcase that and trusting that person with your body. So when I have a person I'm connecting with and we're both head to head with each other like this and we're just exerting energy and growling, that's everything to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of when I start to realize I think I'm more of a primal sadist.
Would you, since you say, so do you, I know you said that you don't need the tools or you don't use the tools. Do you use tools at all anymore?
Absolutely.
Or
I still do. I still use floggers and all the implements that I have. It's
Right.
just when I go into that zone, it's me
I
and
got
you
you.
now. Tools are no
I got
longer
you.
an option.
There's a I know exactly what you mean, because I can get to that headspace too. It's almost like somebody flipped a switch.
Yes.
It's almost like somebody flipped the switch, and you don't even realize that switch has been flipped until you're in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I know exactly what you mean.
It's a high, man. It's like it's a really interesting high. I know what happened to me on my birthday. I had a birthday party at my space, and I don't generally get to stay in that space a lot because, again, when I start going into it, again, I hit a lot harder. I put a lot more energy, and sometimes people are not able to, deal with that.
Right.
So for the first time ever, I had the chance to play with a friend who was like, "Yo, keep going." And I got to the point where I was so hysterical. I'm like, and I just fall back. And I'm on the floor like, and then my partner and my play partner are like, whoa, he's never done that before. Is he fucking okay?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm in a zen right now, bro. And I get back up and I start going at it again. So it's definitely a thing.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate you sharing that story with us.
Mm-hmm. See, I like this. See, I'm more sensual. My dom side is definitely sensual sadist. It's definitely more of a sensual sadist. Like, I'm just mean. Like, as far as like doing like impact, I can get serious with impact, but I'm mostly like I say sensual. I can be nice, sadistic, but I'm also mean. Like, I'm more of the verbal type. Like, I'ma like ignore you, make you feel bad, like stuff like that. Like, somebody I'm seeing now is really into humiliation and stuff. And humiliation that is my favorite thing right now. Mm-hmm. I love like degradation and humiliation to somebody. That is Picasso.
I'll agree. It is definitely fun. I'm one of those people, since, obviously being a sadist, the biggest thing with me is I will hurt you the way you want me to hurt you if you ask that. So I, can talk about a scenario, since I'm not obviously talking about the person. Person's coming up to me and says, "Hey man, I was a fucking cunt at work this week. I need to be told that." Okay. I'm going at it, doing my thing. And in the space that I was in, there's people in there. And I said, "Hey, tell everybody in this bitch you're a fucking cunt." And she's screaming it out and saying to herself, "I'm such a, oh my God, I'm such a," and then, you know what I'm saying? So I'm right there with you. I'm all about the whole verbal, whatever it gets you into that space. And I'm enjoying the fact that I'm relishing in what you need as a, I guess you could say, a service top in a sense. I'm all about that.
I can see that because I've been developing my dom side a little bit more than, because I'm a switch, so my dom side I've been developing it more and trying to figure out what I like. Well, I try to be I'm not very good at being a submissive. I suck at it. I suck at it. I tried it. I'm more of a bottom because I like heavy bottoming. But as far as like the service side of being a submissive, like I suck at it. I really do.
Gotcha.
I try. I'm too dumb. Like my dom side, it takes over. Because like my favorite honorific, I told you, Lord Emperor. It's very masculine. I love the Emperor. Call me Lord. You can't say Emperor. You can't say Lord. You gotta say Lord Emperor.
Okay.
See, that's my favorite one right there.
I respect that. Do any of y'all have a specific honorific that you enjoy?
I mean, sir is mine.
Okay.
I'm a primal hedonist, but I'm a professional dom too. So
Yeah.
It's because I've dabbled into that kind of work, Sir is always going to be my top honorific, so to speak.
So quick question with that, because like I know Sir is like kind of a universal one, and knowing that Sir is kind of your thing, do you have a special one though? Because I don't mind someone using Sir if it's just a pickup play scene or something like that. But like dynamic wise, there is a specific thing you will call me.
Honestly, it's I have a few, I just don't share them.
That's okay.
That's the honest answer.
That's okay.
I do have a few, but I don't share them.
Okay.
So, those are reserved for the people that I interact with on that level. So that's all that.
I just wanted to confirm if I'm not the only one, because I do have one. It's Masaku Sensei, because let alone am I your dominant, I'm also your teacher. So everything that you are experiencing is I am also teaching and experiencing with you. So that's my thing.
I'll tell you, since you're on, when we talk about that, one of the ones that I was unaware of, but that I had someone that I was training, they used to call me senpai. And I started to get more into, you know what I mean? Like I had to do more research into that.
Yeah.
And that one, that was a new term for me, but I'm sure it's familiar to everybody else.
Because, it just means superior. Well, kind of a superior, but more of a upperclassman.
Right. You know what I mean? And like, but I didn't discover that until she called me that. And that was, I mean, that's been 5-6 years now, but yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. How about the producer? You got anything yourself?
So this is where it's funny for me because I'm newer to the lifestyle. So Sir was an alias I was going by prior to this. So coming into the lifestyle and learning that Sir is like the default, it's like, well, damn.
I mean, there's many people in the lifestyle that Sir still means a very powerful thing. Like, there's some people that say, hey, do not call me Sir unless we're in a dynamic. You can call me anything else, but do not call me that. So it can still be powerful to you. It's how you make it powerful.
True.
So audience, check in. We're about to get started in a couple minutes, but while we're getting ready for everything, everybody in the audience, go ahead and tell us if you are submissive, what honorifics do you like? And if you're a dominant, what honorifics do you like to be called as a dominant? Go and share with us in the chat.
Boo boo kitty fuck.
Something feels off. Hold on.
Not Captain. I like Captain. Oh, Captain, my Captain.
It feels weird, Mystique, because I could have sworn that somebody's birthday just passed. I could have sworn somebody's birthday just passed. So before they start talking about where they from, I need them to wish my boy happy birthday.
Not with the battle.
Come on, you ready?
You can't top me for shit. I'm sorry.
Oh, you want to be tired too? Hold a minute. I got some rope.
I don't want to be nothing. Yo, so funny enough though that you brought that up because I have been working on my Shibari stuff. I got 2 Shibari books for my birthday.
Oh shit!
Nice.
So
bring them next time we together so I can see them.
That should be fun. I can tell you exactly where to get them too.
I commend you for that because I enjoy rope. The responsibility behind groundwork and suspension, that is not something I am one that enjoys. But if I can statistically tie you in a position that it hurts,
I got you.
That's about it.
See, I want to learn rope too. That's why I need to know the next. Like, I want to learn rope too a little bit. So that's why I see subscription on. Like, I got so much rope I've been buying over the years. Like, I got this one. I got like 6 more hanks of rope in my bedroom. Like, I'm weird. And yes, I got a paddle and rope at my desk. You never know what's going to happen.
You got that paddle for me.
Yes, I got this one from you actually, and I love this one. It's so cute though, because I like my red Harlot nails. So
it's funny how I originally got that paddle. And I'm glad it's being used now because anytime I end up using it on somebody, they're like, that shit hurts. And I'm like, hey.
It doesn't hurt really. I mean, I can see why they say it hurts.
Mm-hmm. It's
What is
very
it made
stingy.
of?
It's plastic.
Oh,
It's like a heavy plastic though. Like the hard part is like a heavy plastic. But if you give a good it will leave a mean ass bruise.
I was gonna say heavy plastic can sting, so that don't surprise me at all.
It feels more thud to me though, but I don't bruise easily. I've tried. I was like, I bought toys for bruising. My butt will not bruise.
You sure about that?
Yes. Is that a challenge?
It very much so is.
Ooh.
All right, then I'll see you in a month and a half.
so if I could produce it, I will let your staff know.
Yo, so in the
I want to see because can't nobody because that damn I had a and it was a female dominant and she tore my ass up with a cane. She caned the fuck out of me. And I was like, I know I got a bruise. I'm like, Andrew, go look. I'm all in the mirror looking at my ass. I had like a bruise this big, like one little spot. My butt does not bruise.
What was you two about to say, sir, and Mr. Everlasting?
Go ahead, sir.
I was just saying there's a war going on in the comments.
What's the war?
About the term good girl.
Oh man. We could actually talk about that because
man, they are going back and forth about this. Some like it and some hate it.
We could definitely add that as a conversation as well. But I will tell you, the thing that I bruise you with is going to be something that you commonly use. I'm going to tell you that right now.
See, they just want to see me get my ass beat because they know I be acting.
I don't gotta go down too deep into it. I just gotta warm you up, and I'm gonna hit you with it one time.
We gonna see. I told you that old boy when we was at that con and he was on me with that nigga was getting frustrated. I was like, I'm literally training myself to. I have ADHD. I can literally tune out of this shit. Like all I do is tune it. I tune out, and once I tune out, it's
we got brats in the chat. Where they at? Where the brats in the chat?
I was just saying, look like we got quite a few of them in there.
Boy,
too.
it's a lot in the chat.
I know.
It's like, look,
my God.
I don't really care for
those are my favorite ones.
See, if I'm bottoming, I like queen.
If you like being called queen, I'll call you queen.
Like I like queen. Call me queen. Like
if you
bottom too, so.
Hey, it's called bottoming from the top. You ever heard of that? You heard of that?
I have heard of that.
Yeah, bottoming from the top.
She cannot relax enough.
But topping from the bottom. You're right, baby. Thank you.
To be in that submit. You know what I mean? Like
ooh.
Not brats are the best. I don't do brats. I don't have the patience.
I love brats. They're the most fun. You know why? Because whenever I think I have to put my hand on the charger as, okay, I'm done spanking, and they say some shit, it's like, whoop, gotta take that bitch back off and beat that ass again. And that's all I want.
See, I can have the tendencies of being a brat, but I don't do brats. I can't. My patience too thin. Like I like respect. I like don't push at me on it. Because
you just gotta.
I'm gonna have to get me 3 switches and braid them together.
You just gotta set the standard that okay, obviously, if you haven't consensually allowed them to brat, like, hey, if they start bratting to you, first off, I haven't consented to that shit. So now you're being a bitch, and that's not what I'm cool with. But if we are both consenting to the fact that you are being a brat, and that way the result of you bratting is obviously going to be the result.
Oh man. Not Miles and Froze. Miles, you done froze.
Cool. We got phone. Oh, can you see me now?
You froze.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Boom. All right, cool. Go. Wow, that was an interesting photo of me being froze.
Yo, you lucky. I was trying to decide if I should screenshot it. I was like, shit, I didn't have time. Because I was debating if I should have.
Well, I was saying, in a sense, you know, with all that kind of stuff, it's just as long as you have the consenting natures. If you're gonna brat, then obviously there's going to be a result from you bratting.
I tried. I was vetting a sub, and they was bratting, and I was like, they was asking me if they was like, "Are you okay with a little?" I'm like, "Okay, well, I'll try a little brat." And I was like, "Oh, you get on my damn nerves." Like, tone it down. I can't. Okay. I tried because she was a brat, and I was like, okay, I will do. I was trying to get into
that comment.
Brandon, what is a brat? Okay, for those who do not know, a brat is
Feisty.
someone who they be a brat, just like you call a little disobedient child a brat. Like it's literally the same thing. They want to go against what you say. They want to pick with you and push you to. A lot of brats like to push their doms to the edge so that they get more punishment. Like they're glutton for punishments. They're just being annoying.
In a nutshell, it's a person that likes to challenge the doms.
So let me ask you. So I gotta ask Mystique this question now because, you just said you like degradation, you like administering degradation, you like administering humiliation. A brat feels like they would be the perfect bottom for you.
Exactly.
Because it's a person that's gonna push you to the point where you can humiliate, degrade, and punish.
You know what? I mean,
like,
I don't say no brats. I just say I'm not necessarily a brat. Like I won't pick a brat for a submissive.
Okay.
First, I'm open to a brat.
Do you think you don't like brats because you like to be a brat yourself?
Called out.
Good question. Anyway, we want to thank you for being here with us. We have
cold-blooded.
We have
Unity.
Here. Thank you so much. Just to tell you a little bit about this, my homie right here, but he is a professional dominant from Orlando, Florida. He's gonna be teaching us a few things. But first, we're gonna just ask you a couple general questions to get started. So tell us a little bit about your journey in kink and BDSM. How did you come to BDSM, the kink lifestyle? Just tell us. I know you started telling us a little bit. Could you tell us a little bit more about how you became the Mazaku?
It's okay. So funny thing, I was ending a relationship that I had, and I was always curious about just the things that I was into. Like I didn't know that were kinks, and I wanted to explore them with her, but she just kind of just like, oh, that's weird. So whenever I ended the relationship with them, I started hanging out with some friends, and they started hosting some events. And then coming to find out, those events were a little bit kinkier than I expected. So as I'm coming to these parties, I was like, wow, man, I always thought that you got to go down in like some dungeon and, you see the alleyways and stuff like that. You see people tied up, and I'm actually with normal people and they're doing stuff like flogging, rope, all this kind of stuff. So I was like, man, this is what I want to do. I want to learn more about that because, the guy that was doing it, he did everything. Fire cupping, flogging, rope. His name was Sir Crow. I honestly value him a lot because if it wasn't for him telling me about where to learn everything, which is at the Woodshed, Orlando, I probably would not be here. I probably would still be maybe attending parties unknown about anything else. But that's pretty much how it started. I went to a couple of kink parties. There were house parties. And he just kind of told me, hey, you want to learn the stuff that I learned? Come to this place. And I've been a member of the Woodshed for about 5 years now. Oh, no, wait, hold on. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, 5 years. So, and as I kind of got along into my journey, I know that impact is what I'm known most for. It's kind of what I spent most of my time on because pickup play, people always just want to get spanked. And I'm like, I enjoy doing it, so let me perfect that. So I pretty much just dabbled and played with everybody, any situation, whether it was little brat, somebody more mature, like age-wise, like they're older, just everybody. And then I started to get into fire play and fire cupping. Some people say it's one and the other, but I truly feel they're two different things. Because fire play is more of the kinky side, whereas fire cupping, for those who have done massage therapy and stuff like that, that's more of a medicine. We just make it kinky because you can add more of a pain threshold to it. You can do things like blood play, which, oh boy, that's good. And you could just add elements of pain to it to kind of make it healing or pain pleasurable. And then from there, once I kind of learned a little bit about fire cupping, that's kind of when I got more into massage therapy, because with the people that I would play with, I would want to find ways to do aftercare with them, because not most people assume that you have to be sit down on the couch, sit down in a space, and cuddle up with each other, but you don't have to do that. Not everybody wants that. So I got more into massage therapy and learning how to give massages. So whereas I will beat your ass, I will massage you afterwards. So you got to get the best of both worlds. And from massage therapy, I got into hot stones. So that's another repertoire, and wax play as well. So I guess you could say I went from impact to sensations in a sense. And that's kind of where I am at the moment. I do a little bit of rope, but it's mainly for like harnesses, and specifically a calf binder that I learned at a rope dojo. And my fiance knows it better than me. I'm still practicing it, but it's a calf binder where you tie the rope around your calf muscle so tight that it's not cutting off the circulation. But if you use that muscle, like when you walk, it inflicts pain. So you can't even like put weight on that calf anymore. You're literally walking around, hopping around and whatever. And that is perfection to me, because when I experienced it, what happened?
No. I was like, no.
Oh, you don't want me to do it to you? Oh man, that's sad.
That sounds painful. No.
But it happened to me because I'm one of those people that anything that I do to somebody, I have to experience it myself. Even all the impact toys that I have, my fiance, my play partner, somebody has hit me with it so I can understand what it feels like. So if a person says, I don't like that, well, it's like, well, I've experienced it too. What do you not like about it? And I don't just take a light hit. They hit me full throttle with some bitch. So I know what it fully feels like. So when it came to that rope situation, I was laying on the floor and I got that tie. And then the person that tied me was like, hey, now I want you to get up. And I'm like, I'm on my back. So I'm now trying like, I could get up no problem. And I'm like, oh, I can't put no weight on this. Oh, this shit hurts now. So it's
I'll be sitting in one spot.
You said one-sided?
How long does it last?
You can have it on until it becomes more like, I say for most masochists that would say like, hey, the pain is not pleasurable no more. Now it's painful. Because what you do is there's a part of the rope that you use, and then you put it between the actual tie, so that way it's not cutting into the circulation. So it's like a thick strand of the rope that's really wrapped around it, and that's where most of the pressure is going into. So it's like putting on a sleeve, like an arm sleeve. But it's like when you get your blood pressure taken, and it gets that really tight part. Yeah. But it's not to the part where it feels uncomfortable. It's like, this is here. This hurts. It's like that. Okay. Best way I can probably give an example of that.
That was a good analogy, actually.
Yeah. That was. I don't want to pause it, but.
So when we opened the show, you had kind of touched on the NWR, and that's the main reason that we're here. From what I understand, that you have a very good understanding of that, and we do like to educate here. We make a lot of jokes and we have a lot of fun at the safe word, but we do like to educate our guests as well. So if you don't mind, I want you to kind of introduce that, and let's get into that.
Absolutely. So what NWR stands for is needs, wants, and requirements. I kind of got this concept from a dominant at an event one time. His was a little bit different. It was more related to his scenes, but it kind of related to the needs, wants, and negotiations. And mine kind of came into relation to keeping accountable to oneself in your relationships. So I kind of call it the cheat sheet for anybody that you're talking to, because with any person that we're talking to, some people don't like small talk. Some people have to get to the nitty gritty and just need to know, okay, are we in it for the long haul? So the needs, wants, and requirements list is one, to keep you accountable, but also to let people know what you're getting into. Because I know we've always had that one person that says, I'm a little crazy. But you're like, okay, I get it. You crazy. You ain't crazy. You just passionate. But like, they don't ever divulge into what that crazy is.
Right.
So this list gives you an example of like, okay, what is that like? So needs is more of the goals that you have for your relationships. So you have your wants, which is kind of like not fully like needs. It's kind of like, it's not a full requirement, but this would be nice. And then you obviously have requirements. This is absolutely must happen. If we're even going to consider a relationship, we're going to consider playing, we're going to consider doing anything, this person must do this or must have that for it to be a possibility. And I know a lot of people will create their list and think, man, I'm being such a bitch because I'm saying like, oh, this person got to have this or this person got to be like that. No, these are your requirements. These are things that you need to won't even start this up. So I can even pull up mine to kind of give you guys an insight of like my needs and wants, requirements, relationships. And we could kind of divulge into that. And even for the audience, if you want to put it down in there. Oh, I see it there. I challenge you all after you hear mine and what it kind of represents, kind of think about your own needs and wants and requirements in your own relationships. Because again, as it keeps you accountable, as you start talking to people and you bring up like, yo, this is what I require from you if we're going to have a relationship. And then you'll start noticing people start falling the fuck back because that's not something they can do. So kind of go into mine. One of my biggest requirements for any relationship is a minimum communication once a day. I require that. I need to know that you're still alive. I need to know that you're still good. I don't care if you text me in the morning and say, hey, I'm gonna have a really busy day. I'm not gonna be able to talk at all, but I just want to let you know I'm good. Cool. Whether if it's, hey, I had a really busy day, I'm getting ready to head to bed, but I want to let you know I'm all right. That's all I require.
You
and
can
then
send
when
a
it comes,
text message from the toilet.
yeah, anything. I don't care as long as I get a message that you are okay. That is my requirement because. And this is kind of like divulging into a previous relationship. I had a previous relationship where for 3 days she didn't talk to me. And it was because something that happened to her related to one of her partners and she didn't want to tell me. So to kind of refuse to have that conversation, she like ghosted me for 3 days. And so to me, we're obviously not in a relationship anymore because you can't even tell me what the fuck is going on in your world. I must not be that valuable if you can't even talk to me for 3 days. So that kind of became a requirement for me after that. And then if I'm in a dynamic with somebody, depending on the dynamic, they would have to refer to me as this. Okay. Yes, it would definitely save a lot of wasted time and energy. Absolutely. So with one of my other requirements is that, again, in dynamics, they will call me Masuku Sensei. Will not have anything else. Now, being that I'm still a daddy, depending on the dynamic, I will accept daddy as well. But outside of Masuku Sensei and daddy, those are the only two things I'm accepting. Not boo boo kitty fuck, not monster, whatever. I'm accepting those two. Oh, go ahead.
I'm telling y'all, the needs, wants, and requirements. When I tell y'all, I ended the whole relationship over that shit. Remember I told you, I was like, wait a minute. Nigga ain't checking none of these boxes. Like, oh, you know what?
So why the fuck are you dealing with them?
Why
exactly.
It's like I literally told him like, bro, I had to break up because you told me that about the needs, wants, and requirements. I'm like, hold a minute, you ain't checking. Because I wrote my list, and y'all know me, my list is like this fucking long.
It is.
Oh, let me see if I can pull mine up. Like my list,
it's in the Discord, I think. Yeah,
it's in the Discord. I'm gonna pull my list up. And it just makes you think, and people in the audience, I'm definitely telling y'all, do this because not only does it save time, it helps you to learn about, yourself and what you require to be happy. And also it gives you insight. If you ask someone, okay, what are your needs, wants, and requirements of your relationship? Like we already know what Mr. HITL, one of his requirements is. Head is the law.
You're gonna have to tell me more about that too, because I'm kind of like this motherfucker spitting.
So I'll make
No,
it quick. We'll make it quick. So every year we do March Madness episode. And the very first season that we did this, one of the selections was blowjob. It might have been like oral sex versus anal sex or something like that. And I think Mystique chose anal sex, and I was like oral. I don't even have to ask oral. And they were like, "Why are you so adamant about oral?" I was like, "Because head is the law. Why else were you asking? Like, head is the law." And it just kind of took off. So for 4 years, we've been saying it, and yeah.
Look, this motherfucker is spitting because if I'm doing anal sex with anybody, you belong to me. That's primal as shit to me. That's a whole nother level.
I didn't say anal sex. It wasn't anal sex.
I'm just saying.
It wasn't anal because no, I don't do anal. So it had to be something else. Like no, you come near my ass with anything, we fight.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Never mind. Go ahead.
You come to my ass with anything, like you can hot dog me, but other than hot dogging, now that's Chancey word right there, hot dogging. And she's still hot dogging. I will allow you to hot dog me, but you're not penetrating. If you want a hot dog, I mean, it don't do shit for me. But if it makes you feel good, I mean,
yo, it's funny you brought that up. Because as somebody, like I said, I'm a noob to this. Y'all can attest to it. Knocking on the back door is fun. I ain't even from the front. It just I'm not even interested in the penetration of it, but just tapping it like I'm a maestro is just fun to me. Like,
hey, yo, do your thing.
It's
nothing wrong with it.
It's lit.
That's a whole nother.
It's just to me because I'm not one that really enjoys it that much. If I'm going to do it, it's more of a deeper connection with me and that person.
Where does the term hot dogging come from?
Chancey,
that's a whole nother level.
Chancey is no, it's not the actual Hebrew name. No, this was Chancey, Chantel in the comments. Chancey, she came.
I mean, we just slinging glizzies on the ass. Like, what are we doing?
No. What hot dogging is when you freaking
Is that technically period sex? Because you
sent me a gift of a
hot dog.
Jesse, stop. But hot dogging is when okay, you know how your butt, you lay down and your butt cheeks and they kind of slide they dick up and down in between your butt cheeks like a hot dog.
As soon as I said it, I imagined it. Like I knew where you were going with it as soon as you started. Yeah, that's so funny. The winner between the buns. Gotcha.
In between the buns. They not going in, they just sliding it in between the buns. Not an actual hot dog, the penis. They slide
why are you calling it
penis? I'm just fucking at that point.
Okay, they slide the dick. Damn, we can't be
correct. Because no, we ain't fucking doctors in here. They say penis. We say dick and cock in here. I don't even like the word cock either.
So let's say, Lord, please tell me that an actual Hebrew national.
No. I ain't never had a Hebrew national. So
ass glizzy is crazy. It is.
Ass glizzy. But yeah, you just like I've had because I got the cheeks. I got the milk. Nope, can't say that word. But I got the pie back here. So. They like to slide it between my cheeks. They just like to slide it between, and I go in. They like to slip and slide my cheeks.
Ass glizzy. I'm sorry.
You done came up
I
with
see that in the
term,
comments. I'm dead. Ass glizzy. I can't.
I ain't gonna call no names though.
Oh man.
So never mind. But
kind of get back into what we're talking about. So yeah, I was talking about my my list as well. So,
so let's say the fleshy debit card.
Oh my god!
That's funny.
Swipe.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. My bad. That was too funny.
You good, G. You good.
Okay, go ahead.
So, being the fact that I'm polyamorous, any person that I'm in relationship with is obviously going to respect the current dynamic and relationship that I have with my fiance. That's a big thing. I know there's a lot of people that aren't super poly, but are like, hey, I'm interested in you. And I don't really necessarily got to be with your partner. And we do more kitchen table poly. So it's basically being able to have whoever my person is or whoever their person is, and then them, my fiance, and us all being able to be in the same space, cordially and casually, no big issue. And to be extremely transparent as possible. That is one big thing for me. I'm one of those people that if I did something that upset you, do not wait 3 days. Do not wait a week. Let me know as soon as you can. If I say max 2 days. If I would encourage, if you can tell me when it happens, that's great. It's right on the moment. We can talk about it, have a conversation. I'm down for a conversation. But if you need to process information, great. Anything after 3 days, I don't know what the fuck happened. I'm sorry. You cannot expect me to remember that shit.
Fair.
And if we're gonna be together in a relationship, just being aware of our sexual activity. Just like if you're gonna go fuck somebody else, that's cool. But just let me know you fucked. I don't care if you sucked his dick, but if you fucked, I need to know. And I know that could be weird because it's like, hey, it's a sexual activity no matter what. But it's like the energy. To me, I'm very demisexual and sapio. So the energy that is necessary for me to fuck somebody is very important. So if I tell my fiance and I tell like a secret code, I say, hey, me and this person had a little bit of extra fun. That's my way of telling them that me and that person had sex. It's not saying it. It's not blatantly being like, oh, me and Tiffany fucked and that's you. It's just, hey, we had a little bit of extra fun, babe. And that's her. Okay, I know what happened. You don't got to go into detail. And I don't need the details depending on the relationship. But I'll just say, I don't care what you do outside of that, but just tell me, hey, me and that person, we did a little something. Cool. I don't need details. Did you have fun? Great. That's all I care about. And those are really my requirements.
That is a massive amount of compersion. So I have to applaud you.
Yeah. Thank
you. I hate to use the word demands, but given that you're so open about it, and I appreciate you sharing that, honestly. Mm-hmm. It's very respectable, if that makes sense. In the sense that I like the boundary that is still there, though. Like that's the key. Like it's personalized to you where you're like, yo, I just want to not be on the outside. You know, we're a family here. Just for the sake of safety, let me know how far this went. So I think that's pretty cool. This is very enlightening for me, like seeing that people can have these relationships but still maintain a little bit. Stop there, you know. Yeah. TMI, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I like that. I like that.
Yeah. Because
I think it's something I could really work with.
Yeah. What were you about to say, Mystique?
Where I be like, because like I'm nosy. And like, you know, Mr. McTitties, he don't ask me my business or nothing. Like if I go on a date, he don't want to know. And then it's like, well, damn, I want you to ask me because I'm nosy. So I want to know what you got. And it's not for the sake of me just being like, okay, I want to start. It's like, no, I'm nosy. And I want to know. But it's like, I feel like if he don't question me, I can't question him. And it's like, well, damn, I'm going to respect the boundary. But it's like, no, I want to know. I'm nosy.
I can agree. I could agree depending on the relationship, me and that person. Oh, where'd you? How that shit go? Tell you, boy. Like depending on the relationship. You know?
What you do? What y'all did? Did y'all do it? Yeah. Like that's me. I'm nosy and I like details. So it's not even for me to like pick apart because I know some people will say that their partners are talking or sell their partners that you know don't talk about this or they'll ask to talk about it so they can find something to fight about. And it's like, no, it's not me trying to find something to fight about. I am literally nosy and I want details.
If the information becomes too much for you, how do you respond?
How would I generally respond would just be kind of like, hey, I kind of made that apparent that I didn't want to know that. Now, you can respect the boundary and can, you know, stop where you're at. But if you continue on, I'm just going to have to cease communication and just move on to something else. Because I'm not going to get like, I know sometimes I get like, oh, so let me, wait. Stop it right there. But if they feel like they need to, like I can understand that connection between you and your partner. Like they really need to kind of have that conversation with you. Like I really want to express to you what happened and how it made me feel. That's different. Okay, let's talk about it. What all happened? Rather than they call me. Guess what I just did? There's a difference between that.
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pivot this question to Mystique.
Okay.
Because I feel like, and the only reason I'm saying that is because I feel like from the dynamic, because the dynamic is different, maybe you view it differently.
Okay.
So, and I'm only asking Mystique this question because she said she's nosy. So she wants to know the information, but how much is too much information for you?
There you go. That is a good question.
That is something, and that's why, if he doesn't ask, he don't like ask or press for details. And if it's something that like I don't even know if it's uncomfortable, he's like, your business is your business. So it's like, okay, if that's the boundary you're setting, my business is my business, I'm not going to share with you. If you really do not want to know, if it's something interesting or something, I was like, oh, let me tell you about this. But I respect boundaries. So if there's a boundary, like, I just don't, it's not, if it's like, I would ask, is this making you uncomfortable? You just don't want to know.
Oh, no. I get that. But I'm talking about on your behalf. When you want to know about him.
Yeah.
How much information is too much information for you to handle?
It's funny. No, because we had this conversation before. I said, what if he starts telling you that Shorty has the best pussy ever?
No, but actually, we had this discussion.
That's what I'm saying. We had this conversation.
What happened? I told this, and they thought I was crazy because I said, if he tell me somebody coochie or they sex is better than mine, I don't care. It's like, okay, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I can't change that. But if you come in this bitch and say, oh, she cooked for me and her food tastes better than yours, them fighting words. Telling me her food tastes better than and they didn't get. I'm like, yo, I don't care about sex. I know my sex game is tight. I got stellar reviews. I sent out surveys, so I ain't worried about that. But if you come in and say, oh yeah, this bitch, I went over to her house and this bitch cooked me like a T-bone steak and that was the best food I ever ate, and I got a doggy bag I bought. I'm like, oh, we fighting, nigga. I'm gonna throw your doggy bag, gonna be throw it out there in that dog park up there. Like, no.
So what we're getting from this, Mr. Everlasting, is it's not even the sex part. It's the fact that this nigga fed you better than me.
Them fighting words, like sex. I don't care about sex. Sex is like, it's sex. It's sex. If she can throw her ass in a circle a little bit better than mine, maybe I throw mine in an oval. She threw hers in a triangle. I don't care. Different strokes for different folks. We all have the things we're strong at.
Not Triforce pussy.
Yes, but if you tell me that, I would be more offended about you said she cooked for you and her food tastes better, because now we fight.
Leave that up there. So Clarissa said, does it ever low-key change how you view them?
When they have sex with people? Absolutely not. What would change my view of them is if they didn't tell me. And if I found out, if I'm around them and that person, hey, yo, remember last night you was, I wasn't aware that y'all did that.
Right.
Now it's an issue because now I can't trust you because I've already set the boundary. If you've done that, let me know.
Right.
So that would be my situation.
Yeah, and I agree. It's all about the trust and the communication. It's like, because if we're going to have a polyamorous relationship, we should be on that level where we can talk and be open and honest. But if you're going to sit there and lie about things, we might as well be monogamous and niggas be cheating. Like, because you have that extra layer of understanding and trust where it's like, all you got to do is communicate. Like, I've literally had relationships in the past where I got cheated on. And I'm like, yo, you didn't even have, why did you feel the need? But some motherfuckers get off on cheating. So it's like, I'm telling you, I'm polyamorous. If you want to open shit up, yo, we can do it, because what's good for the gander can be goddamn good for the goose. So try me. So,
Mystique, it's funny you say that, because I'm a pin that. I'm a pin that because it's kind of going into another subgenre. But I remember to bring that conversation up later for what you were saying about that. I was about to say I was gonna go into the needs and then like the wants, and so that way everybody else can also create their own. So asking for consent is obviously absolutely very important. Very important.
I just want to read this comment right quick. Ariel said, asking for consent to share is super important. I try not to ask questions I don't want to know the answer to, but if I did, then I just try to pause the conversation, clarify the boundary, and accept the unwanted knowledge where it's at. Consequences. I get that. I get that part too. Because sometimes we think that we want to know and we don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes the knowing can affect our mental way more than we should allow it to. But that's when you start to recognize, I think, how deep those dynamics and those relationships go. So, but please go ahead into your needs and wants.
No, I was gonna contribute to that because that's totally a thing. That's kind of a boundary I would set immediately. Like, look, that's gonna be. I don't care how much I ask you. Don't tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me. And that's just setting a boundary, because as much as I heckle you, I just want to know. I told you in the beginning, don't tell me. And so then if you do it, now you can't follow instructions. And as if I'm a dom and you supposed to be my submissive, you already broke number one motherfucking rule. So,
At least you know what your feelings hurt.
So going into needs, this is what I call like things that you want to push towards for your relationships. So like when you get in a relationship, obviously certain people have needs of like, hey, I want to have kids, or hey, I want to build a family. I want to be able to travel, whatever those things. But these are needs that you want to be able to do with your person. So for me, my needs is that I definitely want a person who can challenge me and be able to help me step over those boundaries. But at the same time, challenge me if I step that boundary. So if I say something that's out of pocket, hold up. What the fuck was that? Bring it up. Tell me that I messed up. Because how do I ever know unless you tell me? Like, one of the things that any male presenting or just more masculine individual could tell you, that we can't read women's minds. We can't. And so if I say something and it's now you got that malicious face like, but in your brain, you're like, this motherfucker. Just, how do I know that I did it wrong unless you challenge me in a moment like, hey, yo, that wasn't cool. Just letting you know. Oh, my bad. What can I do in the future to prevent that from happening again? Now we're having a conversation. Mm-hmm. So I'm really big on that. Now, another one is my partner's having something that makes them whole, man. Like, you gotta have something. Like, you can't be, oh, I'm just here waking up every day, smoking weed and chilling. Like, you gotta have something that you enjoy. Whether if it's you read books, you're a music buff, you like watching series, just something that makes you you. So when I talk about people about you, I can say, oh, my partner, man, they love bacon. They love bacon, man. They always baking all the time. They just have something that exists for them, because if you have I'm not one that likes super extremely like clingy partners. Now, granted, my fiance is clingy, but in a sense of because of our dynamic, but like clingy to where you can't do shit without me. Like, you can't go to the store without calling me. You can't go to the movies. You can't hang out with your friends without me. You can't do anything without me. That's when it's too much.
Gotta have a hobby.
Gotta have a hobby.
Our relationship can't be your everything. Because what if because I worry about people with those types of dynamics, because it's like, okay, when you get too clingy or you get too dependent on each other, it's like, what if some tragedy strike? Where is that going to lead that person? Because they put everything into you. So you have to have your own. I agree. That's actually, I think I stole that one off your list too, about you got to have a hobby or something like interests and hobbies and friends outside of me, so that we can talk. Because, I love clingy. I'm kind of clingy. I love clingy cuddling when I get in moods, but it's like, I do get it. Like, have something or interest outside. Even if you're introverted, like, say, okay, have like Mr. McTitties. He likes to play his video games and stuff like that. Or because, me and him can be both introverted. We'll be in this house for like 2-3 hours. Like, damn, we said shit to each other, because he'll be downstairs on the game and I'll be upstairs on my computer. So you gotta have something that separates you. You can't be, because like you see them, them couples that be so up each other's ass, they share a Facebook page, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I hate that shit where they gotta take photos every goddamn day. Like, we're just at the store. I don't give a fuck. Like me and my fiance, we rarely take photos, but when we do, we make sure like it's for a reason. I'm one of those people. I don't take a lot of photos, but now I'm starting to like. When I made our engagement, when I finally proposed to them, I realized
Which
by
was
going through our photos, I was like, wow, we don't take a lot of photos. I need to change that. So not too like obsessive amount of photos, but just like creating memories, because I'm like, damn, this was a photo that was all the way in 2019, and this is 2020. We didn't take that many goddamn photos. I need to change that and create more memories.
See, that's me. I hate taking pictures. I can't stand. You can ask Sir and you can ask Mr. Everlasting. I will jump the fuck out of picture in a minute. Let me see somebody. They just got me the way I come on. I don't like pictures. I don't like cameras. I don't like none. I like to be behind it recording other people. And I was saying the same thing. I need to take more pictures because my girls are 8 and we've never taken professional family photos, and they 8.
Damn.
I have pictures of them I've taken. Like I take pictures of them all the time, or they'll be like, take a selfie on Snapchat. So we take selfies, but we have not. I'm like, my girls are 8, they'll be 9 this year. We have not yet taken family photos. So definitely, I understand that I'm trying to get myself to wanting to take more pictures.
I'm gonna say this, and I hope this doesn't get really morbid. I hope this doesn't get too morbid, too fast. You know, so I'll touch on it and we'll get off of it. Make your memories.
I was thinking that.
And take your photos, because so my mom passed in 2011, dad at 15, grandmother at 17. I didn't realize until after my mom passed that I probably only had 6 photos of her that we had taken in like the last 4 to 5 years. Same thing with my dad. So like, after my dad passed, I started taking photos every time I saw my grandmother, and she hated pictures. But we shared a birthday. So it became a thing that I could always refer to and go back to those photos. And I'm only bringing that up to say that now, me and my wife, we don't take a ton of photos, but like we've had a chance to do a couple of professional photo shoots. You know, we have our wedding photos. Whenever we're not like the, hey, we at the grocery store type people. Now we ain't doing that type of shit. Yeah. But like, if I'm out for my birthday or she out for her birthday, or we like out of town and we on a trip, we're going to take a couple of pictures for ourselves, and we might post. But if we take 100 pictures, we only going to post probably 5 of them.
3 of them hoes.
You know what I'm saying?
Literally 3.
So it's take the photos and take the videos, if for nothing else, for your memories and for your keepsakes, and just so that you got something in your back pocket. You know what I mean? Because those are going to be the memories that when things, no matter if they get hard, or if you're having a bad day, or even if you're having a great day and something happened 2 days ago that had y'all like rolling over laughing, if you're having go revisit those things. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to make sure that since we touched on that subject, I want to tell you, man, please do it. Please do it.
I agree, because you know what? When my grandma died back in 2020, I realized I didn't have, because my grandma hated pictures too. Like I think I got it from her. She hated pictures, and I realized that I had no pictures with my grandma, but she had to go to the doctor down here, and she came by my job. And I remember I was like, Grandma, take some pictures with me. And it was like, this was like in 2018. And I took pictures with my grandma. And those are the only fucking pictures I have with my grandma. And they're just like spur of the moment. We both had on like Christmas hats type deal. It was around Christmas time. So it might have been 2017. Either way, I took pictures with my grandma, and I realized like now those are the only pictures I have with my grandma right now. So I really treasure those pictures. And it's like, I like I said, I hate taking pictures, but I realize I have to have memories. Like I said, I take a lot of pictures of my kids and everything. It's like they're getting older, and it's like I look back on their baby pictures, or I go back and look at the picture, because me and Mr. McTitty's been together 5 years, and I go back and I look at. I somehow ended up reading all, because I still have all our text messages. And it's something, it's like when you go back, like you said, go down memory lane. of older times. Like I was reading our old text messages from like when we first started dating because I couldn't remember what our anniversary was. So I went all the way back and just started reading through them text messages, and I could just see us developing and falling in love. And I got on that gay shit for a minute because it was just all sweet. And I was like, damn, there's some gay shit right here. And I was like, oh, but I was just it's like it almost made when you go, especially when you've been in a relationship for a time and you going through hard times, you go revisit those memories. You start to re-fall in love with that person because you see like, damn, we were so cute. And I remember when he asked me on the first official date he asked me on, he was like, are you going to see Black Panther? Do you want to go with me? And I was like, oh. And I was like, this is so sweet. So it's like, I just saw that and I was like, babe, I just went in there like, baby, I love you so much. Why you don't be sweet to me no more like that? Why you don't talk to me no more like that? You was being sweet, trying to write me poetry and stuff. What happened?
Message. That's what I was gonna say after what you said, Mr. Everlasting. Message. Message. But yeah, that's real. But I know we don't want to go too orbital because we got that's a whole conversation we all can have. So as we know, requirements is a must happen. Needs are kind of pushing towards for your relationship. Wants are just like, think if you have an ice cream, this is the sprinkles. Like this is not necessary, but if you did, this makes it a little bit extra special now. And it's not a requirement, but it would be nice. So to me, I would enjoy a partner I can play with at least every other weekend. So like say twice a month. And again, it's not a requirement. It's just, it'd be nice. I want to have more of a mental connection than a physical connection with my partners. One of the biggest things, I know this is going to sound weird because Mystique knows about this. I like taking edibles with my partners and just having deep ass conversations. Just deep ass fucking conversations. And only my fiance, because like I'll get on edible whatever, and she's like, I'm not high enough to talk to you right now. And I'm like, man, get on the same plane with me so we can talk.
Corey was like, oh my God, I'm not high like you. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna tell y'all know how when I get too high and I start rambling and be like all over the place, that nigga right there.
I will talk about some of the biggest things. And one of my biggest conversations I had one time was I kind of explained. I said, yo, do you realize that talking is music? Think about like when you have a conversation, your pitch changes when you get excited. When you start talking about some things, you go into a rhythm. You don't start noticing like it's kind of like music. The way we bounce back and forth, that's like lyrics in a song. That's like a duet. And I was like, wow. So is every time I'm talking to somebody, I'm creating music. I said, oh shit, I'm just brain blast. So I like having those moments with people because then they add on to it. And it's just like, yo, now I'm seeing what's inside your psyche. I like learning about what my partner is into, the things that they're, thinking, because outside of us having, spending time together, seeing, doing all that kind of stuff, I don't know what's up here. I don't know what your day-to-day thoughts are. I don't know what your day-to-day interests are. So having that mental connection helps me understand the more vulnerable side with you. I'm huge about being vulnerable with my person and talking about those very personal moments with them and being able to express how I felt in that. So that's why I enjoy the mental connection more than anything. And this is kind of a dynamic thing, but I can do this in relationships. I want to learn one vanilla thing about you a week. And when I say vanilla thing, say if you started watching a new show, say if you started reading a new book, say if you learned a new thing from TikTok or whatever, you learned some information. At the end of the week, I want to learn one thing, because and you can kind of express this to Mr. Everlasting, when you get into a marriage, you get to a long lasting relationships, we kind of go in autopilot mode.
You're right.
There are times that we're existing, we're in the zone, we're working, we make food, we hang out, we spend our time with each other, and we don't learn new stuff. But learning that one thing can now spark a conversation. And again, me big on conversation, so I like doing that.
Man, I literally, I was telling a friend of mine earlier today, I feel like I've been running on autopilot since January. Because literally, I go to work, I go home, I eat, sleep, wake up, go to work, podcast, come home, eat, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, podcast, come home, go to sleep, off. But then I got to do everything in that one off day just to go to work. Now, the thing that you talk about, the one vanilla thing, me and my wife, we have date night every Friday.
That's good.
So I don't make any plans unless she already has plans, like she got to go out of town for a convention or something like that. I don't plan nothing on Fridays. So I don't care if it's, an event, if it's a scene, unless it's a show. Sometimes shows have to come, but she's been with me long enough to know that, I have to do this. This just happened to fall on this day. You know what I mean? She ain't gonna mess up the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think nobody is.
But if it ain't about the money, in the words of T.I. and Young Thug, if it ain't about the money, then Friday nights, date nights, and we keep it that way. And I felt like it strengthened our relationship because for so long, that's all we were doing was we were on autopilot, and we had to slow down and figure out what was going to work for us and that we'd be able to take time for one another. So yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that.
Yeah. At least one thing. And if I know me and my fiance, we sometimes we've started recently just watching movies on Netflix together, and we might watch a series, and that's just our time together. Like we could be in the same room and not say a damn word, but we're spending that time together. So we just trying to have those things. But if I don't, because I'm in autopilot mode, that is my hold up. What's the thing I need to learn about you this week? What have you been doing? So just keeping that up. So this one might cause some fire to happen, but as you understand, head is the law. I'm a big pussy eater, so I enjoy my person's nether region slightly being trimmed, and so that way I can go nose deep in the motherfucker. So it's not a requirement, but hey, if you shave that bitch, it's gonna be nice because I'm gonna be on that bitch every time I can.
It's all the hat I need to be down there. I feel you.
Oh, we didn't had this discussion before.
We have had this discussion.
I like my partners to be natural. I am a natural person. I'm a natural bitch. Like I get mine waxed off sometimes. Like I'll get it waxed off, but it's like I prefer myself to be natural. I prefer my partners to be natural. Like yes, I love the natural look, but I've always alone with liking the natural look. So I'm leaving it there. But I like the natural look on everybody. Like just nobody.
My fiance told me recently she's gonna get that little sugar waxing thing. I said, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing on that day. You had to cancel it, okay? But whenever you set that appointment and you get it done, you better not set another motherfucking appointment after that.
Not coming in with the ball there.
Mystique, I can respect the natural thing. I think for me it is less hair, less odor, less friction. To me it makes the experience better because you don't have to worry about you don't have a beard, so I don't expect you to understand this. But if you ever get food stuck in your beard, that shit becomes so annoying. So could you imagine going down on a woman?
I do know.
Come on. Bring it home, Dre. Bring it home, Dre.
You gotta imagine that you use the restroom all day. You do things, and I understand you could probably try to clean but unless you were physically taking a shower before you were about to get head, and in most cases it's a quick cleanup, it ain't never gonna be that clean. So the less hair that you have, the more you're likely to carry. I'm telling you, it is.
No, I wash my ass. Hold a minute now.
Hold on.
Hold
a minute now.
Hold on. I could agree with what he's saying because I'm one of those people. Like, as much as I say that I need that, I make sure I'm the same way. So it's not like, I need you to do that. Yeah, I'm bushier than a motherfucker. You know?
Yeah, no.
It's same area, but yeah. I am one that I will get pissed if my shorty trying to suck my dick before I wash my dick. I can't stand it. I can't stand. I'm like, yo, it's to the point now that if I'm about to go to bed and my fiance hears the faucet running, she knows what the fuck's about to happen.
Not the you know what I said, the Pavo's faucet. You turn the faucet.
You know what the fuck's about to happen? She cleans for the
glizzy.
Right.
Oh shit.
Like, hold a minute now. But this is such a common misconception because actually pubic hair is literally there to keep the vagina clean. Like, and I don't have a bush. Like, I cannot physically grow a bush. Like, my shit is like really.
But the pussy automatically cleans itself as well too.
Have you ever? Wait! Stop, Mystique. Have you ever eaten hairy pussy?
Ooh, that's why.
That's why you don't understand,
Bruh. I'm not able to fully perform the deeds that I want to with all that traction in the way. You are suffering because you're not getting the full effect of my mouth and tongue because there's hair in the way. So we are cheating you when you are not properly prepared. You're not getting the full experience.
I'm trying to stick my nose in the
Not only can I not get that deep, but now I'm trying to avoid sneezing on your shit because your hair.
Boy, that hair tickles our shit.
Oh my god! Look, bro, listen. You see how thin my mustache is right now? I don't even like my mustache in my damn nose.
Nigga, you talking now?
This motherfucker is spitting. I'm surprised that nobody is there people in the chat defending this right now?
No,
there's a woman whose brain just exploded just now, nigga. If you want to know why a nigga stop eating your pussy and go, he trying not to sneeze in your shit,
bro.
I got this little. I can, because I was sucking something. Now this shit, I'm gonna say this. Y'all gonna say I'm contradicting myself. Like I don't have to pull a piece of hair out my throat from like sucking a hairy dick, and like that is the worst sensation. Like I was like,
again,
what the fuck?
We're not saying that we can't do it.
Right.
It's just saying it's preferred. Because if you can do it, I'm gonna stick my nose in the motherfucker. It's all in the bitch.
Ooh.
All in there.
Sneezing on the if somebody sneeze on my pussy,
breathing on the pussy. That's sneezing on the pussy. It's wild.
Like that's worse than the niggas who try to be like and like try to spit on your shit, man. No.
Hold on. That's a good question. Real quick. Does everybody when y'all eat pussy, do y'all spit on that bitch? Cause that's what she said. That shit. Who the fuck does that?
I've seen.
Okay, well you about to go in it. Like you about to put your dick in it, yes. But like while eating it.
But you have to be like just in. So you know that switch that you was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I done been there. Once you hit that, yeah.
Kind of
I'm having flashbacks now. I got it. Yeah.
I'm sneeze on my pussy. Do I say?
Go away.
Oh shit.
No, they said.
You what? You sneeze on my pussy.
Oh Lord.
Celeste.
No loogies on the glizzy.
No loogies on the glizzies.
Exactly. Now you know.
I like spit. Spit is gross.
But outside of that, because I know we kind of orbited to it, I kind of sent Mystique the template. If you guys want to share it with the audience as well, I would love for them all to have the opportunity to create their own list. And when I say when you create your list, if you feel like your requirements, if you say at any point, "Oh, I sound like a bitch," no, that's your requirement. Put it down. And I know some people are like, I require a person that's a certain height and stuff like that. I mean, like that's more preference, but like, let's be real. Like you require somebody that is acceptable to the fact that you have kids, or acceptable to the fact that you work this specific job that you don't have that many hours to be with a person. Like these are things that you require, so that way it, again, like somebody said in the comments, it ceases all the headaches. You can't stand when you get knee deep in a conversation with somebody and you feeling it's like, oh, this motherfucker sound like they really good, and all of a sudden you got to pump the brakes because you got to showcase. Oh, I'm going to the store or whatever. Why are you always going to the store? Well, you kind of know that's my thing. I kind of do that. Is that a problem? I didn't know that was a problem. Why is that a problem? Now, why are we here? Everything has been copacetic until this one stop, and it's like, how do we get here? So to prevent that from happening, creating this and putting it in, and what I do it on my first dates. I bring up, I say, hey man, since I'm looking, to possibly, date you, what are the things that you kind of need or want and requiring, from your partner? And they're like, I don't even know. Okay. Well, let me kind of show you what mine are. And you just do it as nonchalant as possible. I even have a list. A list? Think about how many people are surprised at the fact that you are strategic enough to write your own shit down. Shorties would be like, the fuck? Hold this nigga a list? Hold up. Let me hear about this shit. And you could just go into it as nonchalant, and then they're gonna sit there and think, well, damn, what do I need? And it helps them even assess themselves. So I bring it up in the first date, and if I could find out, and when I go on a first date, my first date is going to get boba with somebody. Boba tea. Very simple. Boba tea is $5. And if a person's going to complain about buying the boba tea for somebody else, that's cool. But if I find out that we are not equivalent partners, I just spent $10 and I got boba. I'm cool.
I stole that one from you too. Like, let's go get some boba tea. But if you want, I'm gonna share like one or two from each one of my needs, wants, and requirements. So, and then if you and Sir want to share a need, y'all can do one need, one want, one requirement if you want to. But I'll go, okay, one of my needs is I need to be loved through words of affirmation. I like affirm, like that's a need for me. I have to have constant, affirmation, or you gotta like reassurance. Excuse me. Because I have anxiety, I really need reassurance and positive reassurance and uplifting. So that is one that's like, I really want my partners to understand, as well as to have a basic understanding of me having different mental health issues that I'm working through, and understanding that sometimes I go through a shadow period where I just, it's hard for me to talk or communicate and know that, I'm not rejecting you. It's just, I'm dealing with a lot of things mentally. So those are two of my needs. And my wants is, one of my wants is I would like my partner to be open to education on BDSM and kink. You don't have to be into it, but you just got to be open to understanding. Like we have a whole podcast about BDSM and kink. You need to understand why this is an important part of my life and why I do it. And then another one, controversial, no kids. I would prefer you like, no, this a want. It's nothing like solid, like when I ended up marrying somebody with kids. Like no children. But if you got kids, I would prefer you to have grown or teenage kids, or like big kids, but like no fresh out the coochie babies. Like if your baby look like they still got a navel, I made that mistake one time and I never do it again. If your baby still got Similac on his breath and a titty in his mouth, that is too little for me. Like big kids, like my kids are about to be 9, like they're big kids. So no little kids, because my kids are cool. And it's like my kids are also mean and like to fight. So if little Johnny can't square up and we get to the point where we introducing each other to family, and then my child cold cock your child, it's like, relationship. But and then another one is for my requirements. This one may also be, but you gotta be comfortable with me getting your full name and birthday and light information, because I run light background checks on people. Like it ain't gotta be a big background check, but especially if I'm gonna invite you to my home, like I gotta make sure that I gotta see what you about. I'm gonna Google you to death. I'm gonna look you up. Like you can give me the information about you, but if you don't give me the information, I'm gonna find you regardless, because that's my special skill. I'm good at finding everything about people. So that might scare people away, actually.
No, honestly, you got a point. You have kids. So you need to do a big background check, because you want to make sure the person you're not talking to is a fucking sex offender.
Exactly. That's the first place to start, is the sex offender registry. And I go look you up. I look you up in mug shots. Oh, I even have I used to pay for it. I ain't paid for it. I got to redo it where you can run a background check on somebody, pull up where you stay, where your mama stay, everything. Because I need to know if you're going to be around me, first of all. And then if you're gonna, because my other thing is understand, like, don't ask to meet my kids. You're not meeting my children. Point blank, period. Like, unless you are like my husband, my nested partner, which is my husband, or I gotta be serious about you, like dead ass serious, you're not gonna be around my kids. You're not. Like, don't ask to meet my kids. As far as you're concerned, my kids don't exist. They're an anomaly. And then another one is barriers required during sexual contact. If you're not my main nested partner, barriers, like use condoms.
Yes.
Protection. Any outside sexual encounters, barrier. You want to use Delta Dam condoms, like regular, whatever you want to use, barriers during sexual contact. And also, if you're not my nested partner, we're going to use barriers and condoms and stuff. So that's my requirements.
This motherfucker spitting.
Thank you. I learned.
But if you are nesting, boy, we shooting the club up in this bitch. So
my gate gotta go. Like, go for it. That's it.
So yeah,
okay.
That's on y'all too.
All right.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I've never even thought to create a list. Just because like I'm in a vanilla marriage, you know what I mean? So it's not something that I've had to particularly schedule, if you will. But I guess if I had to pick one of
think
three,
of it as, because you say you're pro dom, so think of it, these are requirements that you would require from the people that you work with or play with. So you can even do that.
Effective communication for one, and two, respect my household, because much like you know, my household comes first. So if you have an issue with the fact that I'm married, I don't even want to play with you because you might be crazy. You know what I'm saying? So those would be two requirements for sure. Needs. See, needs I don't know. I would say open-minded.
Yep.
Okay.
That's mine.
Willing to be educated or coached, if you will. Because I do vetting for people too. And one of the biggest things that I've discovered in vetting is that a lot of people think they want this and they really don't. They just want to have something to spice up their sex life. And if that's what you want to do, cool. But please understand that what we do is more than just sex. I'm not a gigolo. It's none of that is what I do. I create experiences for people who thought that what they liked was weird, and then they find out there's a whole community that supports what they enjoy. So those will probably be my needs. Now, my wants, willing to
I already know one of them.
Willing to let me, well, yeah, I mean, but that's period. Two, I think that it's one thing to know what you like, but if you're willing to let me run the show, I guarantee you that your experience will be better. Because a lot of times what people lose in the pro dom aspect is the same thing you talked about, running on autopilot. You know, sometimes it gets to the point where it's just like, oh, this is labor. As opposed to when I get to do what I want to do, it becomes a labor of love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's one thing for me to have to do, you know, okay, I got 15 minutes of rope, I got 15 minutes of impact, I got 15 minutes. Nah, bro, like, let me just go. Because what'll happen is whereas I had to pay attention to the clock, now I don't have to pay attention to the clock. And what might have been an hour for you just turned into almost 2:15 because you just let me go. And then it became fun. So I know that's a little off kilter from what you and Mystique, you know, described as your needs, wants, and requirements, but off the top of my head,
oh, it's not off at all.
Come to my mind. So
I agree with that, especially with the let me just go, because I am very known for pickup play, and a lot of my pickup play is like fast food play. I'm just getting the essentials. But normally when I do stuff in my private space,
right?
Oh, I'm gonna spend all my time on you.
There you go.
All my time. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Sir?
So again, for everybody that's listening, again, I'm new to the lifestyle. I'm the baby in this, so bear with me. So as far as needs go, I look at
start with requirements first, because this is the
requirements?
must. Okay. Yeah, because if you're gonna bring up like, hey, I require this, that's literally it should halt everything if they object to that. So you don't have to go into the other stuff if they halt immediately to the requirements.
Being able to look at, like, if we're in a relationship, being able to look at other people objectively. What I mean by that is, like, if we see a feature on someone else, understand that doesn't mean that I'm lusting for this person. It's just a feature that I think looks nice. Just being able to break down a person and their physiology and what we enjoy about them. That's one thing about me, because I'm a breast person, but you may be an ass person. So we might see a bad bit walking by. Now let's look at that. What do we like about this one?
not
areola.
Objectification.
How many dimples you think are in that ass? Like let's do that. That is fun.
I feel you.
That is lit to me. Once, I would like to play together, whether it be in a joint session with other couples or in a group. I would, if you don't want to, that's fine. But I would like the sprinkles for me would be able to learn more and experience things and expand our palette together. A need for me would be the communication part. I really felt you on that, Buck, because the instant you feel that you're uncomfortable or you've reached your limit, don't keep playing because I want to keep playing. If you feel out of pocket, let me know. Like I need to know, because I have more fun when we have fun, you know? So right. let me know when you hit, your barrier, when you hit your boundary. Don't let me think it's all good. Like, just to allude to something you guys said before, don't have me thinking it's all good out here. And then when we step outside, goddamn, I'm folded up in the car like this,
Exactly.
So those are my three for now, from where I'm standing right now.
What's your favorite growing up?
And yeah, once you develop it more, because this is a list that's always going to change. Because when you grow, the more you're going to learn more about yourself. Because that wasn't my list in the beginning. My list, I remember I made my list almost like a year ago, and I looked at it later on. I was like, wow, some of this shit ain't the same. Let me adjust this, because my needs are now different. As the more you grow older, the more you learn more about yourself. It is not a end all be all list. It can change. Mm-hmm. Just like how your dynamics, when you get into dynamics, things can change. Your contracts can change years without. So same thing with this list.
Okay,
cool.
Well, man, thank you for everything. Seriously,
absolutely.
Before we get out of here, this is something that we were normally doing when we were doing like interview segments, and this has been more of a family conversation.
Yeah,
but I would still like to do this for you. So we have our final question, which is like what we like to say, what's your safe word? Your safe word is the first word that comes to mind about something that means something to you, or something that you took away from this conversation, or just something that you want people to contemplate on. What's your safe word?
So, and we're talking about in a situation where if something happens, I call safe word and it stops, right?
Well, no. I'm saying like that is what a literal safe word is.
Okay.
But in this instance, we're just asking, what's one word that means a lot to you, and why does it mean so much to you?
That sums up your final thought.
Right.
Chugi. It is Japanese for loyalty and duty.
Okay.
I am one that follows Bushido, so I truly feel as a dominant, it is my duty to make sure that you are safe. And loyalty within the dynamic is a big thing for me. I'm planning on getting it tatted right here at some point, but Chugi is a big thing for me.
That's what's up, man. I like that. That's different, and yeah, I just love it, man.
Appreciate you.
Y'all got anything else?
Thank you for joining us. We've had a great time. You just integrated, or you already my boy, so you just integrated. Yeah. And we appreciate you so much. We're gonna post all his socials, along with the needs, wants, and requirement template on our page. Don't hold me to that tonight because I'm about to go to bed in a little while, but we're gonna get that up on the page by tomorrow. And y'all heard we may be getting some merch soon, so the people who participate in this template, we might remember a couple of y'all when this merch drop. So, and on that note, this is Mystique.
This is Mr. Everlasting.
And this has been the Safe Word.
Safe Word.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
They call me the Dick Whisperer because of the way I make them rise. 10 hut like soldiers, ready to fight. Mystique gonna take good care of you, make you feel like a big kid now. So come grovel at my feet and give your mistress a bow.
Yo, I'm no chiropractor, but I'm about to crack your back. Everything you never knew you need is going down tonight. I hope you got your say we're ready now. Let's take a flight. Have your elevator higher than the sky and Z, floating on cloud 9 in ecstasy. You be falling in love, making love to me. Now, girl, what's my